All right, the director of this piece is right here with us to talk about it, Umanu Elijah. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
I like the black and the red. My own, I beg.
I think give it this one.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Thank you. Hold on.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I'm great.
Break of Dawn. That's quite a. That's quite a piece because I've also seen, clips of it, pictures and all of that. And tell us about the story, how you came to direct Break of Dawn, what you've done before now.
Okay, so I have done quite other things. Like I was a DP for Majiri, the AY movies.
Oh, okay.
I was director of Devin Agbada. I was in cinemas in 2023 and several other things.
Okay.
AMVCA double nominee winner and several other things too as well.
Well done. So is this your first debut directorial master?
No, not first. No.
No. Okay.
Not first, no.
What number? Where does this come in?
It should be not the second, not the third.
Okay. So you've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah.
What makes this different? What makes this unique?
Okay, this is quite unique because there are quite some elements in this film that haven't been seen in your normal Nollywood film.
I like that. What are those elements? What should we watch out for? What would make us go see that? Because you see, the thing with Nollywood is, as much as I appreciate what we are doing so far, someone mentioned a particular movie and said, oh, let this movie go for Oscars and all of that. There's been an improvement.
Yeah.
But that improvement, is it world class? Is another question.
Okay.
So talking about Break of Dawn, what are those things that you say that makes this unique from maybe what we already have out there?
So basically, last night I made a tweet that me coming to TV, so I'm about to give you guys 972,000 reasons why they need to watch Break of Dawn.
Okay,
so good. I just hope I have enough time to.
972,000. You have all the time in the world.
So the first one, the story is quite unique. The story is quite different. I'll summarize that later. The quality, the production is top notch.
Okay.
It has several elements that you're not likely going to see in your normal contemporary Nollywood film.
Okay.
That's how many now? That's like 700 now.
Okay, that's 800 already. 800,000.
So, the cast line again is another level.
Yeah.
The performance from the lead actors are like, you can't wait to see it, right?
Wonderful, wonderful. And putting this together, one other thing we'll talk about is when it comes to Nollywood movies is financing and all of that. Having to put such a piece together, like you said, doing things that you've not done before, how was it financing the movie and putting all of that together?
I think financing was one of the most difficult things, but thank God for good friends and well-wishers who you can call for backup. Because when you're doing a project, you should always have a backup because anything can happen.
Talking about this, we've heard at different times from different governments about how much of funds they put into entertainment. Like, no, have you ever come into contact or ever tried to access those funds that we say government, you hear one governor, one president come and say, oh, I've dropped 800 million or 800 billion or one thing. We hear that a lot. Is it accessible to filmmakers like you?
Let me be very frank without being political, right?
Yeah.
Just the way they hear the news, that's why I hear them too.
Okay.
Right, so I haven't gotten access to any of them, but I do hear the news. I do hear it fly around that at
someone do you know people that have had access to this money? Do you know anybody?
Okay, the only one I know access of was BOI, and that was like 5 years ago.
Okay, back of industry. Okay.
I think there's a new one happening now. I don't even know anybody that I had access to.
And I think that's the problem because we hear of monies being made available. I don't know whether it's a channeling or where, or I don't know. Because this question I've asked a different number of people. We've heard this thing. Has it gotten down to these filmmakers, the ones who need this money?
Okay, so now the thing is, what I think is going on is, there's a difference between you empowering your friends in the industry and empowering the
whole industry.
Yes, so I can just call like two of my, maybe I'm in an office in politics, and I say, okay, I want to give two of my friends so and so million. I'll target Nollywood funds.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, that's me just trying to empower my friends and my supporters, right?
Exactly.
So there are two different things. So I don't really know, are they trying to empower their friends or they're empowering the industry?
The whole industry.
If you want to empower the industry, you don't need to give funds. Create infrastructures and put laws in place to make the industry thrive. I think everybody's going to benefit.
I like that. If we have major film villages that people can have access to, people can have access to a structure to, like you mentioned, things that we can use and all of that. And in that way, it really does make sense. Based on that, with what you're doing now, is it going to be available on cinemas or on streaming? Where can people check this out?
Okay, Break of Dawn will be in all cinemas nationwide from the 23rd of August 2024. That's Friday, Friday. and it's available in all cinemas, Genesis, Filmhouse, Silver Bed, all cinemas.
All cinema.
Right. Anywhere,
You know,
if there's any cinema close to you, check it out. The movie
all
is
right,
there.
something I wanted to ask, as on your personal view on this, yeah, with the advent of streaming, of course, we know what COVID did. COVID was what, that 2020 was when streaming came mainstream and all of that. Do you think, as some people would say, that the cinema culture might just be, I don't want to use the word die, but might just need some sort of a resuscitation, as it were, due to the advent of streaming?
After the COVID era, like a year and a year after the COVID era, I think we had a little downtime in cinemas, right? But right now, I think from the stats we have on ground right now, it shows that the cinemas are coming back.
Back up, right?
Regardless of what's going on, we still have the cinema audience. There are people that they don't like streaming movies with their phone. They like to be in the cinemas, enjoy the old sound surround and all that.
And I would say also that there are some movies that are there's some cinema movies.
Yes.
You know, Peter Jackson and all the rest. They have, he will tell you that, look, if you're doing Avatar, you cannot be watching Avatar on your phone.
Never.
You need that kind of effect.
No.
But Nollywood movies now, have we gotten there where you say this movie is a made-for-cinema kind of film?
Yes.
I don't know if you understand what I mean. That kind of scale, not just something on your phone. Are we there yet?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think we are there. I think we have some movies like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And moving forward now, when it comes to the Oscars, you know, those big prizes and all of that, what's the way forward? You think we are at that level where we can pick those awards? Because, I mean, the category we're looking at is probably Best International Film and all of that, those categories and all that. You think we can go up against it? Koreans have done quite well. I know they've picked, in recent years, they've picked up some awards in that part. Also, Bollywood, they've done quite well with you know, and all of that. Can we say that we are getting to that level, we are at that level where we can compete with those people on an international standard?
Okay, so basically, I don't know about others, but for me, I'm not really so much of a person that's crazy about the Oscars because we in Africa, we have several big awards as well as equivalent to the Oscars, right? So we're trying to fight to get the Oscars, like you not celebrating yourself enough and you're looking for international validation because we have the AFRIF, we have AMVCs, we have the AMAT, who are also big awards in Africa too as well.
Okay.
So for me, basically, I wouldn't even support we trying to compete and trying to get international validation. If we promote ourselves more, and project ourselves more and project what we have in Africa, they should come to us.
They should, okay, but you know that the audience is now global.
Yes.
And to appeal to a global audience, some sort of validation will be needed. If you're trying to appeal to, we're not only appealing to ourselves. In fact, the diaspora at times seems like they're the major consumers of Nigerian content. That is why I think it was Kanayo who made mention of YouTube killing the industry. Okay, so now
let me use Afrobeat as a case study. Rema hasn't won or been nominated for a Grammy yet, but it's like a global phenomenon right now. So if you have the material, you don't even need that international validation. Rema is big in all aspects of music. So I'm using Afrobeat as a case study. Right? So he doesn't need to win the Grammy to be as popular as he is right now global. I saw him on Barcelona's page 2 days ago. That's just Rema. Rema from Nigeria, right?
True.
For me, I'm not really crazy about the international validation. If we respect what we have and grow and improve what we have, they should be coming to us, not we trying or striving or lobbying or trying to get the Oscar.
Okay, so now let's leave the Oscar part. I'm talking about now marketing.
Yes.
The consumer of the content now.
Yeah.
Where do you see? Do you think our content? Diaspora consumption is what blew YouTube, especially Yoruba wood, as it were, Yoruba Nollywood.
Yes.
The consumption in diaspora is much, and then they make so much money that, look, some people just say, okay, if I spend 2 days, I get a shortlet. Let me get 1 or 2 casts and all of that, which is why, going back to what Kanayo said, that is what is killing Nollywood, because now you spend so little for production, but people can consume it and all of that. Is that hampering big productions like you, like what you're doing now? This is major for cinema and all of that.
Yes.
You know, what?
So another issue, another downstream there is, like I said, infrastructures, right? We have, in Nigeria, we have less than 80 cinemas. Meanwhile, in America, in the States, you have up to more than 500 cinemas in one state.
Factos.
So we don't have enough.
Use your leg just through. You know,
So we don't have enough infrastructures for those kind of global distribution appeal and to get much. So that leads me to what I said earlier on. So the government should focus more on investing in industrial infrastructures in Nollywood
rather than grants in those
money.
kind of ways.
Just like sharing rice to people instead of
making them,
instead of like looking for the source of the poverty and solving that.
I feel
so. That leads to that
I feel you.
That's,
All right, so Break of Dawn, 23rd, we can get to see it in cinemas, and people should just go out there and go check it
You're
out.
invited. Our premiere is on Friday at
All right.
somewhere,
Wonderful.
right?
All right,
But
wonderful.
Yeah, to be in those cinemas for Monday.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. And yes, all of us wishing you the best.
Like you just need to see it.
right.
Like you just need to see Break of Dawn.
All right,
It's
well done.
different.
Well done,
Yeah,
Elijah.
thank
Well
you very
done.
much.
All right. Well, you're able to hear it there. I'm looking forward to a mega production that we can go see on the big screen that's talking about Break of Dawn. Stay with us. We'll take a time out. We'll be back after this.